everyone, Jeremy Hansen here. Today is January 16th, 2022, and it's been a little bit since my last video. I think the last one I did was the Sugar May Peach, but let me go and give you all an update as to what happened this summer. And I want to start with the cherries because I get a lot of questions about the cherries. So I actually finally just got somebody to drop off some of the mulch here from trimming trees. So this is some of the, you can see the leaves in there. So I was actually able to mulch the cherries pretty heavily here. And at the end of the year, we had pretty good rain up until about August and September. So that kind of went dry, and I think we got a little bit of rain towards the end of September. So the trees went dormant, and then they started to come out at the end of September there, and October, at least the cherries and the apples. So they came out and leafed. So you see they still have some leaves on them here, and they actually flowered. But we didn't have any fruit set on them, which was fine. We had fruit set on the apples, but not the cherries. And you can see here, the cherries, they have good size. I've got a little bit of mulch. I still have a little bit more to do over there. I've had a couple jujubes in here. But these ones are about 7 feet tall. That's the Utah Giant. This is the Vans, the Craig Crimson, the Mini Royal, and Royal Lee. And you can see they got nice fruiting wood on them, so hopefully this year they will fruit. And this year I'm actually gonna get some bees, so hopefully that'll help out at the end of I think around April. So a little past my bloom time, but in years to come it should help out. You can see the jujubes kind of in here. They're just little guys that I've grafted, and this mulch should help them grow. You can see the orchard here. We had a lot of issues with codling moths this year. They would damage the fruit, so I had cut out the bad spots and basically made a bunch of jams and jellies out of the stuff we did have. So I didn't get a whole lot of perfectly ripe fruit this year, just because for whatever reason the codling moths were abundant. And I don't like to spray my stuff. So what I did try to do, I tried to hang some Christmas ornaments with some tanglefoot on them. Those got a couple of the moths, but it really didn't work a whole lot. You know, fruit kind of has more of a dull look to it, and ornaments are kind of shiny. You can see here though, my trees. Some of these apricots right here, like this one, I think is the Leocott right here. It's probably pushing 15 feet in height. There's a lot of these apricots here. You can see they're all about the same height right there. A lot of people ask me about the size. So this is the Burgundy Plum. You can see the base on that guy. Very thick base here. Very nice tree. I like this tree. And he's probably pushing, I'll say 13 or 14 feet up there. Pretty tall tree. This guy, the Dappled Danny, he's just a massive tree here. And he's probably in the 15, 16 foot range right here. And you can just see the base on this one. This one's huge. I was able to mulch this area. I still have a little bit more to do on the other side. But one thing I will say I've noticed is I don't know if it's just because this area had more leaves and stuff here. You know, it's kind of brushy, more dense. The codling moths were definitely on this side more than that side. And this side is mostly citation rootstock. The other side is myrobalan rootstock, or Myro C28, I believe, 28C. And I'll do a little bit more research on that, but I'm thinking it seems to me like they like the kind of weaker rootstock or whatever, because for whatever reason, citation doesn't really work that well for me in this area. But these ones are all on Myro rootstock. And there's a couple of guys, I believe this guy right here, Flavor Grenade, and I believe this guy right here. These guys, they were just completely loaded with fruit. And the codling moths did not touch any of that fruit. It stayed on the tree till ripe. I didn't really have to cover it at all. It was really nice. I mean, just unprotected, and they did really well. I like that tree right there. But these guys are still, I mean, they're only about 6 feet tall, but they did produce quite a bit of fruit on them. I mean, this little guy right here, you see, about 6 feet tall, that type of width. I probably had like 20 to 30 fruit off this guy, And off this guy, I probably had 15 to 20 fruit off him. And he's about the same thing, about 6 feet in height. And I also had a little bit of fruit on these trees back here, the Burgundies. They did pretty good. They did get a little more damage on them, but I believe I have Myro rootstock. I believe I have Citation rootstock on these ones too. So they got a little bit of bug damage on them. But in this area, most of the trees are about 6 to 6.5 feet tall. I do have a couple that do exceed that back here. And this guy, I'm not too sure he's even, he definitely exceeds it right here. I'm not too sure he's even a tree. I think he might be rootstock. So I'm trying to do a little bit of research on that. Trying to see what he does. I tried to graft, because you can see the split down here, and that's pretty low. So I cut this side off and I tried to put some grafts in there, but they did not take. They were green. Some of my other grafts have done well. Like this guy right here, the Toka. Nice plum right there, and that graft is actually taken to about 6 feet from this year. And this little guy right here, the Ozark from here. He grew a little bit, but looks like he might have got a little shell shock there with the freeze. This is still alive right here, but this side. But overall, a decent year as far as fruit goes. Mainly on this side, like I said. The other side, I still make like jams and preserves and jellies off that. And I even just got done making some plum cobbler, and that was actually pretty good. I really did enjoy that. So there you go. There's this side right here. Like I said, mostly about 6.5 feet tall. And one thing I will say, based off what I've seen, if you do want your trees to grow a little quicker, you definitely want to get rid of the grass around them. So this grass here is definitely stunting my growth. But I still have to mulch this area. So hopefully I'll get that cleaned up by this next year. And you can see I got a little bit of grass from my pomegranates right there. And let me take you up front so you can see I've got all my figs. I got all my figs put away for the winter. They're in a little storage here. At least the potted ones. The other ones I've just planted. And I planted them a little bit deeper. And I've tried to cover them with a little mulch, so they'll be okay hopefully if they freeze back and die, they'll be able to come back. I did also plant like little seeds I got from the trees. So I have a bunch of little seeds that I started inside here too. So that'll be interesting to see if they make it through this winter time. We're supposed to get, I think I saw this week we're supposed to get down to 24, which we've gotten down to 27 already this year. You can see the mulch I've taken. That was a load they dropped for me, so I got a wheelbarrow full, and I've taken out most of it and put it around the apple trees. But so we got down to 27, and actually the banana trees are still alive. They did lose their leaves. They actually got quite a bit of height this year. You can see them, they're about 6 feet. This is the yellow one, and all four are still alive. And this is the blue ice cream, and that one you can even see right there. You can see it's still got some growth coming out, so I'll probably try to guard the base down here and just kind of put some grass around here and maybe a little bit of mulch just to try to save some of this. I mean, just look how thick that is, man. That's massive right there. And it survived down to 27 so far. We're supposed to get down, I think, 31 tonight, but it should do okay. I mean, it's been alive so far. You see the apple trees right here. Because like I was saying with the cherries, you see they did produce some apples, and these ones got frozen. It's got a little dehydrated on the tree. You can see that guy. This is the ghost apple. I've got mulch around them. And these guys especially. It's interesting with the Annas and the Einsteimers. So with the Annas, they all got to the same temperature, obviously, and you see their apples are all shriveled up here. This guy's a little soft right here. So pretty much all the Anna apples got wiped out in the freeze. See that guy too. I mean, they still held a lot of apples. If I didn't have the freezer, that would have been a nice little harvest there in January or February. You can see this guy right here. This is the Einsheimer, and the apples actually held a lot better. Now these apples have fallen off. See, that's what you have, a couple that are damaged, but these apples have been falling off, but they're still viable. They're still good. I made some fried apples off of these 2 trees, but only a couple of them got shriveled up and wilted. The others are still good. You see this guy too, another Einsheimer here. He's still holding apples. He's got some that are bad, but he's got a few that are holding on there. So as they fall off, I'll continue to do stuff with them, make stuff with them. I planted the persimmons I grafted, and I know I've had a lot of questions about figs. So let me show the ones I do have planted. Obviously, I'm planting the ones I like best, the ones I've heard good reports on. And this is a pretty good one right here. This guy, you can see he struggled a little bit with the freeze, but you can see he's got some little frozen figs there on him. This is Violet de Bordeaux. He's a pretty good fig, decent, kind of smaller one. Nice black fig, good in flavor. And I like to say I'm at least decent at describing flavors with the plums and stuff, but I haven't really noticed a whole lot different in figs right now. And I know that's something the fig enthusiasts won't like, but I can tell you when they're good, but I can't notice, so far I haven't noticed like different hints like melon and berry like people are talking about. I haven't noticed a whole lot of that. But you can see I planted some right here. I haven't had this one yet, but it's Burns Brown Turkey. And this one's Brunswick. I actually had a Brunswick at the abandoned orchard, and it was a really good fig. So that's why I made sure I planted this one. Granted, those trees are about 10 years old, but it was really good. And you can see I've taken cuttings as like hopefully a protection thing. So if they do freeze, I plant them deeper, and then I put the mulch around them, and then I've taken cuttings from definitely the main ones. So at least if something happens, I'll hopefully have a root one I can start over with. That's the red Israel. I'm really excited about that one. He's just a little guy, but he's somewhere unless he got squashed. He's around here somewhere. Oh, too bad. But I was really looking forward to him, and I do have a cutting of him. And this guy right here, this one, I can see why. This is the I-258, and this was the first one I was able to grow from cutting. I went like one of 9, and he got like really big. I mean, you can see how thick he is at the base here, and he got to be probably about 5 feet tall. And this fig is really good. It's a really good fig. Highly recommend it if you can get one to grow. Okay, I just wanted to return to this one real quick. This right here is the red Israel. I cut him back, and then I've covered him with mulch, so he is still alive. He's still doing good, but he'll be protected in case for the freeze. Other than that, I did get to try the Figo Prado, as they call it, and mine was I don't know, maybe because I didn't give enough water, it was kind of dried out, and it didn't really taste that great to me. So I still got it in the ground. I'll give it a little longer and try it. Another one I was impressed with though was the LSU Tiger, a brown fig. That one's really good. I enjoyed that one. And another one that I really liked too was this one right here. I had a graft on here, and I was trying to air layer it before the freeze happened, but I think in my air layering it, I moved something around and must have messed up my graft. It's a Columbia Narrow one. Small red fig, really good tasting. I was excited about this one, but I guess it didn't make it. That was my fault. And then I just have my mulberries there, great size. I have a white Pakistan mulberry grafted to this one, so I'll get to try that this year. See my graft hook right there. I've got a decent amount of growth on it, so I may try to take more cuttings from that and graft it to maybe my ones out there by the pond. See if I can get those ones to change over a little bit. And this guy right here, the Dwarf Mulberry. So he grew up to about, I'll say 8 feet last year, and he died back with a freeze. He died all the way to the ground, and he's actually come back. You can see him at the base, and he's grown, I don't know, to about probably 14 feet right there. Huge. I have not got any fruit off that guy yet. It's supposed to be an ever-bearing mulberry, but I've not got any fruit yet. But I think I've covered everything I had I want to talk about. This is January, so we're getting a little bit colder weather here for the next couple days, and then I think come February, I wouldn't be surprised if we see winter kind of fade off for us over here, and kind of mid-February, probably start planting the garden and stuff, and we'll probably start to see some blooms come out and the fruit trees start to come out. I'll be interested to see how it goes for the cherries and the apples that already came out this year. I'll kind of be curious to see if I believe they're going to flower again. I'll just be interested to see when their bloom time is and how it goes, because they're typically the Annas and Einsteimers, especially. Einsteimer's actually been ahead of Anna for the past couple of years, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they flower again. Maybe we'll see if it mid-April, maybe March they'll flower again, hopefully, because that'd be nice if I could get. I've gotten 2 crops off them before, so it'd be nice if I could get another kind of 2-crop thing. And then I'm super excited about the free mulch there. So I was able to put a bunch around the apple trees and the persimmons, as you can see them right there. And that's the first time I've heavily mulched those guys. I put 2 wheelbarrow fulls around each tree there. So I'll be interested to see how that works. And then just 1 wheelbarrow full around the figs, which I know I'll need to do another video about the figs, because so many people like the figs. And I do have to say that I-258, that one, so far, that one is definitely the tops in my book that I've had. There's many that I've planted that I've heard good things about that I've yet to get to try. And so I'll just hold out and see which fig I really do like the best, because before my Celeste, I said it was going to be hard for any tree to beat the Celeste because it was such a good fig. But that's definitely like at least number 5 on my list now. They've got a lot of good varieties out there. I thank you guys for watching, all you guys that stuck to the end. I really appreciate it. Any questions, feel free to ask. And until next time.